we'll probably move on to our final topic before we get to the Q&A and all the whatchamacallit. Just quickly going over fantasy critic stuff, courtesy of Gamebird.
Yeah. Would someone mind pulling it up for me? I'm on one monitor.
I got two.
Perfect.
Gotcha.
Appreciate you. Yeah, so I figured it would be a good idea. We had our first 2 weeks of drafting. So there has been changes to our rosters since then. So I thought it would be fun to kind of go through what we have, maybe the thought process behind our picks. And I did want to bring something to our attention that I was curious about. If this ends up being a Nintenbyte staple, if we have fun, if the community enjoys it, and we decide that we want to do this once a year, which I think would be awesome, but I would like to change next time, not this time, because we're already in it. I do feel like there is one rule that we should change in this, because upon thinking about it more, I feel like there's a reason why it's not a part of Fantasy Critic. So we basically gave an okay to draft ports. And so I was wondering how you guys feel, because I think having an unlimited amount of ports to draft gets a little bit out of hand. I mean, part of the fun of the game is predicting on games that we don't know how they're going to do, their new experiences or new sequels or new IPs. So I feel like it takes a little bit away from the game. Nate, one of your picks, I know that you'll be going over. Is it just one game of the year? So like, to me, I feel like that takes a little bit of fun out of it. So I was thinking for next year, we already made the rules for this year, so I'm not complaining. But I was thinking about next year. How would you guys feel about making a rule where we're each allowed one port draft? How do you guys feel?
Like you're just afraid of losing.
No.
I'll think about it. You know, because Gamer, what if someone chose Borderlands 4?
Fair enough, and I get that.
And then they get screwed.
I totally understand that. It's not about me being scared to lose. I'm just trying to think of like the sanctity of the game when I've seen a number of ports drafted, and
there's some risk here.
There is. But let me.
I finished in 33. I finished in 33. That's the game he was referencing that just won GOTY. It's not even announced for Switch, Jim. I don't even.
I understand that. No, I understand that. But let's just say, for example, a ton of third-party games are going to get ported to Switch this year. Forza Horizon 6, let's just say, is coming out this year and coming to Switch. PlayStation decides they're bringing over Spider-Man and God of War Ragnarok and all this stuff. I do feel like it robs a little bit of the purpose of the game if you have like 5 ports drafted. No one does. This is just something I've been thinking about, because there is a reason why we had to create a separate rule specifically for our league to include ports. No other league in this game will have ports because it's not allowed in Fantasy Critic. So I was just thinking as maybe in a future game, but I don't know. It's up to you guys. I've been thinking of.
I don't know. I think more than one, but I think we can limit it, because like even a game you just mentioned, like Forza, I don't think I'd pick that for Switch 2. And the reason why is because I think everyone will cry that it doesn't have the triggers.
The triggers, yeah.
Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, that's a trap pick, in my opinion.
Unless he's your GameCube controller.
Right. But, like the reviewers, the people who
won't buy a GameCube controller because
the smallest things in the world upset them. Right? Like,
right. But like,
I wouldn't pick that knowing that, that's going to like really irritate so-and-so over at X big game, media outlet.
Sure. And I get that. But for example, like a game like Hi-Fi Rush, let's say that comes to Switch this year. Like, we know that's going to be a 90 plus just because like Final Fantasy, like that was a fair pick. We established the rules, but we all knew that was going to be a highly reviewed game because we've known that the game's amazing for the last 4 years. We've been playing it for 4 years. So I'm just saying, like, if if there's unlimited picks for ports, and there's a lot of great ports coming, especially with Switch 2 being new, I just feel like it takes a little bit. Like, to me, part of the fun of this game is speculating on the unknown, you know. And I have to reiterate, we created special rules to incorporate games that aren't even allowed in Fantasy Critic. I'm not like trying to I'm open to it. It's just something I was thinking about, and I just wanted to mention it here. Just because
rule proposal changes should come at the end of the season.
Sure, fair enough.
See how it plays
Fair
out.
enough.
Yeah,
I
I think that's good.
Fair enough.
And I'm open to your idea.
Yeah, because
there's plenty of games to pick from, anyways. So
yeah, absolutely. But yeah, it was just a thought, and like I feel like when I was thinking about it, I was like, oh, one's fair because it gives everyone that little bit of an edge if there's a game that you know is just like, yeah, it's gonna get a 90 plus because it already did, and it's clearly gonna run phenomenal on Switch. I feel like it adds to that element of surprise and really, you know, using our skills as people who follow the industry to handpick these games on that we're speculating. I think this game's going to be a knockout. But anyways, it was just a thought that I'd mention. But let's dive into we can go in order. I believe Eric is the first person, and you know, you can, if you want to go back over like your initial draft and what you've picked since then and why.
Yeah, I mean, all of the games up until Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass were the ones I drafted. And then I was actually searching for a topic, what was it, 2 weeks ago? And I found Jimmy and the Pulsating Mass, and as one of the articles was being written about it just coming to Switch. And I was like, heck, what the heck is this? So I'm looking into it, and I mean, the games it was compared to, it was an Earthbound like and stuff like that. There was just a bunch of different games that were really, really good.
it's right there.
There you go. And I'm like, heck yeah, sign me up for it. And that was the game that I'm like, I actually think it was the very first week that when we were drafting, I was like, how in the heck do I do, you know, how do I add one that's not on here, you know? Because this was after we were done drafting and I wasn't sure if it was available type of thing. I emailed Colin and he said originally he wasn't going to allow it because of, I can't remember what, but then it was, he came out
in 2017.
Right. But then it was the port or whatever it was. And then, so he's like, well, what do you want? I'm like, yeah, just give me the Switch version on it. So yeah, that's kind of where I was like looking at that. And I'm like, hey, that could be either a really good pull or really bad pull. And then I've just kind of picked up, Yoshi, I think could be pretty decent, and Gears of War seems to rate pretty well. So I'm like, yeah, why not? We'll throw it out there, take a chance on it. So that's kind of what I've been thinking. I haven't added as much as you guys have, but I told Nate, and I know whatever, who cares about if I'm sharing my strategy a little bit. I kind of went on, okay, it's, you know, the first half of the year, kind of fill up, make sure, you know, roughly about half of my team is full. And then I got about half my team left for the second half. Hopefully, you know, I can pick, you know, hopefully some good games come out in the second half of the year.
Yeah.
So it could screw me. It could be a decent move. Never know. But that's kind of what I'm thinking right now.
All right. Next up.
He's not here.
He's not here. All right. Team Birds with Benefits. If you guys remember.
The best name.
Yeah. Right.
I laugh.
If you guys remember.
Every week, I'm like, God damn it.
On draft day, I went with Marvel's Wolverine Replaced, a game that I'm insanely hyped for.
Dude, we have been following Replaced, I think, since 2017.
Yeah.
Dude.
Yep.
Bro.
I'm in hell game. It's apparently finally coming out.
I cannot believe
We got a
it.
release
I'm
date,
really
man.
excited.
It looks remarkable. I'm really hoping for some high points on. I mean, the game's just absolutely stunning. Just watching I remember that I forget which trailer it was, but one of those trailers for the game. I must have watched it like 7 times. I was just like in awe of how good the game looks. But yeah, I'm hoping for some good points on that one. Onimusha: Way of the Sword. This one I think is riskier, not in the sense that I don't think Onimusha is gonna review poorly. I think it's gonna review really well, at least mid 80s. But I'm not 100% that it's gonna launch this year. But I had to pick it, and there's a little bit of bias. This is when it was one of my favorite series of all time growing up. I loved it on the PS2, so I'm just happy to see it back. And I do feel like this one, with Capcom's current record right now, track record, I'm feeling good about it. Mixtape, really cool looking indie game, with a huge throwback to anyone who grew up in the 90s. It's got bands like Devo, I think, and Duran Duran, and a bunch of other really cool artists in there, with a really awesome, almost Into the Spider-Verse looking animation to it that's really beautiful. Control Resonant, guys, it's Control, but more of an action game this time around. I don't know how you describe it. It looks awesome, though.
Yeah.
Really excited for that one. Neo 3, love Neo 1. It's an amazing game. Reviewed in the 80s. Neo 2 reviewed even higher, I believe. And for the first time ever, the series is taking a more open world approach with that fantastic gameplay that they've developed over the first 2 games. I think this might be a high 80s. Who knows? Fingers crossed. Maybe this one could break 90. We'll have to wait and see. Pony Island 2, probably my riskiest pick, because there's a chance
Very
that
exciting.
we just hear nothing about this game and it doesn't come out this year. But if it does land, I think it's going to score well for me. If you guys haven't heard of this game, watch the trailer. It's wild. It'll trip you out. And this guy just makes really cool games.
And the first one
Eugenics.
was the 85.
Yep. And Mugenics, this is a brand new indie game from the Binding of Isaac team. It is a tactics game, one that's very, very hyped, and people who have gotten to demo the game have said that it is one of the best tactics games they've played in years. I think that says something really nice. We'll have to see. Dave the Diver in the Jungle. Dave the Diver was one of my favorite indies. I think it was 2 years ago that it came out. Was it 2 years ago? Really cool game, especially when you're in the restaurant and serving customers. But the new DLC looks huge and looks to offer a lot. So I'm excited for it, but I also think it looks really good. That's why I chose it. Dave the Diver, I also believe, got like a 90 or a 91 when that game came out on Open Critics. So it set the bar pretty high out the gate. Cult of Lamb, Woolhaven. It's Cult of Lamb, very popular, great game. The demo, I'm not sure why does it have an hourglass? Will you highlight that hourglass? I'm not sure what happened there.
So this game
Needs
is
more
released
reviews.
and has an open critic page, but there's not enough reviews.
Got it. So it's going to start tallying up points for that one. But yeah, Woolhaven looks awesome. I've never played Cult of Lamb. It's a game I've always been curious about. The expansion looks really, really cool, so I'm feeling really confident on it. Zero Parades for Dead Spies. This is the next game from the team that brought us help me out, guys. I just brain farted. Oh my gosh. It's right at the Disco Elysium. There we go. The team that brought us Disco Elysium. So it's that kind of point and click adventure CRPG with incredible storytelling. Again, this is another one. If you're into deep stories and more of those point and click and RPGs, even the Baldur's Gate style games, check this one out. The trailer looks amazing. Neverway. I'm not sure if you guys remember this game. This was in a Nintendo Indie Showcase last year. It looks really cool. It looks like one part Zelda, one part Stardew Valley. The art is from the artist who did Celeste, and the music, I think it might be the same composer from Celeste as well. But
I remember this
game looks it looked rad. It's in a Nintendo Indie Direct, so I'm feeling good about that one.
Good pick.
Fable. This was a game I drafted last year. I was hesitant. I almost drafted this on draft day, but the reason why I didn't was because I wasn't confident it was coming out this year. But then, as soon as I heard that we were getting that Xbox showcase at the end of the month, and that the bulk of the showcase is going to be a deep dive on Fable, made me feel like, okay, if they're going to make the entire focus of the showcase Fable, it probably means Fable's coming out this year. And usually with those style showcases with Xbox, it's always games that are coming out the same year. So I'm feeling good about this one. It's the return of a classic. I know there's been some interesting discourse over the game, but when I see the world and I've seen some of the writing in the trailer, I'm feeling pretty confident about this one. We'll see come that showcase, but I just didn't want to wait around for it to get dry. Is it tomorrow? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll know soon enough if I made a wise choice, but I didn't want to wait around and find out, to be honest with you. So I went for it. But yeah, those are my picks, the reasons behind all of them.
Yeah, Wallhaven comes out on the 22nd, so it's technically, I think, out in part of the world, but not yet in US. So
cool.
Makes sense.
All right. Let's scroll down here. I believe it's going to be Thunderstash next year.
All right. So I got GTA 6. I do 100% believe it's coming out this year. I don't believe the worry that was published by Jason Schreier. I think it's just him worrying. I think Rockstar is going to work their employees to the bone to get that out on time. And if you don't like it, you can see the door. Dragon Quest VII Reimagined. Very excited for that. Final Fantasy VII Remake. Obviously, enough said. Just reviewed that. The Adventures of Elliot. Previewed the game on my channel. Played through the whole demo. It plays like modern day Zelda on NES. It's awesome. Lego Batman Legacy of the Dark Knight. Of course, I think we're all really looking forward to that game.
Stash, I think that game is going to review a lot higher than a lot of people might think, too.
I do, too, because it's Lego and it's Arkham.
Yep.
And we don't get the Arkham games, right?
Yep.
We got Suicide Squad instead. What we didn't want. We got Gotham Knights, which is also not really what people wanted. This is giving two different groups exactly what they want. Lego group and the Arkham group. So yeah, I do think it's going to review well. How well do you think it will review?
I mean, I could see this one being like a 88, 80, maybe even 8. I feel like I'm going to say an 88. I could see, which is like that's what you want.
Yeah, I could see between 80, 85 and 90 if I get really lucky and people don't complain about stupid things. I think I could see that.
And a quick side note for the viewers, because you're going to see points for Stash's next game. The reason just in case if you're just seeing the Fantasy Critic, the reason why you can't see points for Final Fantasy was because we made a special rule to draft ports. So Colin, as the team manager, is going to have to go in and manually put in the points for that. So in case you're wondering why it's not showing a score of points, that's why.
Thank you. Mio Memories in Orbit. Yeah, again, I just reviewed this game a few days ago, and I absolutely loved it. I could tell when I was playing it, though, that it was going to get docked a few points because people were going to complain. When I say people, reviewers were going to complain that it's too hard for them, which sucks because to me, that's on you. That doesn't mean the game's bad. That means you honestly need to get better. So, the thing is, though, like you don't have a certain number of lives anymore. It's not like you have 3 lives and then it's game over.
You guys can trash talk each other.
But it's like, do you see what I'm saying? When we grew up, you had a certain amount of lives and then it's game over and you have to start from the beginning. Today, it's the opposite. the only way you're not going to beat the game is if you're a quitter. If you quit, honestly, that's what it is. If you tap out, you have to tap out. They want you to see the end of the game. It benefits the developer and the publisher for you to beat the game. Because then they have that data. Then they have the trophy data. The accomplishments, the achievements. Now we know if we should make a sequel. Because if we do, you'll probably buy it because you saw the credits. You see what I'm saying? So I think it should have scored higher is my point. I think it should have got probably an 86, 87. But I didn't. I should have taken into consideration. But I also didn't know how hard it was going to be. So that sucks. But 13 points, still good. Pragmata. Again, this game has been in development for 6 years. Capcom, that's a long time.
Yeah.
Many years for Capcom to work their magic, man. And so I'm excited for this. I think it'll do very well. Let's see. Eternal Life of Goldman. Again, I've had this pre-ordered since August 2024 at Best Buy. I checked today because Nintendo posted a trailer today. And I'm like, oh, I wonder if there's a release date. Probably not because it's not in the text, but I'll watch the trailer and there wasn't. But it prompted me to go to log into my Best Buy to see how long I've had this game pre-ordered. And I've had it pre-ordered since it was announced. So very excited for that, though. DuckTales Metroidvania. It's basically what it is. Threads of Time. Do you guys know about this game?
Absolutely. It's on my radar. It's a game I'm really, really interested in.
Yeah, I'm so excited for this game.
Yeah.
Major Chrono Trigger vibes. And this is dated for I believe Q1, which that's why when we were talking about our most anticipated games for Q1, I said, I do have one Xbox game on there if we were going to do all the platforms. And it's this one because it's only coming to Xbox as far as consoles go.
That's sad.
For now. It's going to wind up somewhere else. But yeah, it's a inspiration from Chrono Trigger. I believe they have former developers that worked on Chrono Trigger. Like they're basically making their Chrono Trigger. This, if you look at the story, the time travel, obviously the title, Threads of Time. This is like a modern day Chrono Trigger. It's gonna be very interesting. Mariachi Legends, dude, this game looks once again sick. Metroidvania. I featured all of these games were in my most anticipated games of 2026 video. Bloodstained, the sequel to Bloodstained. I think it's going to do better than the first Bloodstained. I really enjoyed the first one. I have confidence in Iga, so that's why I chose that. Let's see. Edge of Memories. Again, which was in my video. This is by Midgar Studio, which obviously you know where they got the name for that. Final Fantasy VII, Midgar. This game looks awesome. And this one's coming to everything except for Nintendo Switch. I'm sure it'll eventually come to Switch too, though, because it's an RPG. Let's see. I'll skip over one of them because I'm sure we'll have to talk about it some more. Code Vein 2. Obviously, you guys know I played it for 3 hours. Can't say anything else about if I've played it more, but I feel really good about the game.
Your veiled way of saying yes, but he can't admit it.
I feel really good about the game. This is one of the games also that I'm not concerned that that people are going to say it's too hard because it's a Souls game. so you should know what you're getting into. But like, I don't think it's harder than, I don't know, Elden Ring or Demon Souls. I think it's good. The difficulty level is good. It's challenging, but I don't think it goes past that. It's not like completely unfair like some other Souls games. It's not infuriating. I think people will be okay with this one. That was the only thing that would deviate me from picking that game, is if I thought it was going to be too hard for the reviewers. Because again, it really sucks, but that's how you have to look at it. Is how are the people who don't have a lot of time to play video games, even though this is what they do for a living, how are they going to react to this game? I could tell you how I think people who like Souls games are going to react to it. I think they're going to love it. Beast of Reincarnation. You know, again, this is level 5. This is unlike anything they've done. We're going to find out more about it tomorrow. It's in the Xbox Direct.
Yes, it is
one of the headlined games. I'm very excited for it. I think it looks great. Nate, however, decided to use, how many of these do we get, Bird? 2?
I think we only did one. I'll have to double check. Yeah, I think I opted out of 2 this year. That way we could be a little bit more both adventurous and forgiving our first time play.
All right. So Nate blew his load on Beast of Reincarnation. He thinks of all the games that have been picked so far between all the teams, that this one is the one that's going to score the most points under 70.
No. Not why I did it.
Let's hear your expert strategy then.
Real quick, I want to jump in and say that because I like to pop in, here and there, one, to think about, look at like some of the available games, think about what I might draft next. 2, I like to check our follower count to see if that's gone up. When I logged into fantasy and I saw there was a counter pick, I was filled with so much joy because it felt like the game's afoot, my friends. It's already begun. Moves are being made. Schemes are going down. And so Nate, I love this. I don't have an impression of like good or bad choice. Just very exciting to me that we have a counter pick. And then it made me feel like, ooh, when's the next one? When am I going to see the next counter pick pop up? So it was very exciting to see someone make the first move. Stoked. Nate, the floor is yours, my friend.
I've been known to make first moves. They don't always go my way, though. So I have lots of strategies I play. I am a big fantasy player, whether it's sports or now the fantasy critic. I take this shit pretty seriously. So I always have thoughts and strategies. And I will note, the last fantasy league that just ended was my fantasy football league, and I'm the champion. Now, it doesn't matter I lost it the last 17 years. I won it this last time. So my strategies are starting to come around. By the way, made the playoffs at a sub 500 record, then knocked off the 1 seed and the 2 seed and the 3 seed, baby, to win the
playoffs.
Talking about playoffs. That's right. Dude, I don't know how the fuck I took him out. Well, actually, I know exactly. I got very lucky with a certain player, but it doesn't matter. I'm the champion. And I had a strategy that was all about building for the playoffs, not building the rest of regular season record. It's kind of the way I look at this. I'm not trying to take early leads. I'm thinking long haul. And we only have 5 people in this league, right? So my strategy has to be, I need more points than everyone. So who do I view as the biggest threats? Well, the guy who set up the league.
Yeah, you have to, because he can cheat.
He could cheat, yeah. But
I'm just kidding.
You won't.
You get called out.
No,
so
I
bad
know.
he did. And then Thunderstash. And the reason is Thunderstash is extremely competitive, which means, and he does his homework, and he probably knows more about the games coming out this year than anyone else on this panel. That's just the way he is. And that is totally cool. So I view him as a threat, a huge one that needs some taming. So as I was looking at his list, I'm like, what's a game on here that I either think A is not going to score super well, and even if it did, it's only like, say it scores like a 72, 75. I'll take a -5, whatever, I don't care. Or a game that's on this list that I don't think's even going to come out this year. And that's where I was heavily tempted for GTA 6. Because I don't think it's coming out this year. I think it's going to get delayed again. But then I'm like, yeah, but if I'm wrong, I'm fucked.
Yeah, it'd be a very costly mistake.
Yeah, it'd be a very costly mistake if I'm wrong. I pretty much wouldn't be able to win. So I'm like, no, I need to pick one that if I am wrong and it does come out and it does score okay, I don't think it's going to score crazy high and fuck me over. And that is Beast of Reincarnation. The reason I say this is when they revealed the game, they get Game Freak and all this stuff cool, doing new things. When they revealed the game, if this is your first time showing off a brand new IP, it's running at like 8 frames a second. That's the best look you had for this game, was to reveal it with that choppy of a frame rate. Feels familiar.
I didn't notice that when I watched it.
Yeah, it's very choppy. And it could be improved. We're about to see it tomorrow.
Sure, it won't your internet connection?
No, it wasn't this way. I'm not the only one. This is a well-known. It's all over the internet. It's been widely discussed because people have joked, "Oh, it's a typical Game Freak game." Of course, it's got to have some frame rate problems. That's due to scrolling my like guys. That being said, that doesn't mean. That being said,
I read the opposite.
Okay, but that being said, it doesn't matter. We're seeing it tomorrow, right? So it doesn't really matter. I also just don't have any faith. If Game Freak's the full developer, I'm just going on the whole faith that they can't make a good game. It can look good. Who cares? It's got to be good. Nothing I saw in that reveal trailer. Only thing that people I ever see talk about with that trailer is either they're laughing at the fact that Nintendo's holding them back. Look at Beast of Reincarnation, or Reincarnation, or doesn't it look pretty? Cool. So how about the gameplay? No, we're just talking about how good it looks for a Game Freak game. Oh. Okay. So are you actually interested in how the game is looking gameplay wise, or you just think it looks pretty? So when I start to see the conversation is not really about the game itself, it's just about the graphics and then about Nintendo holding it back. I'm like, you know what? Maybe the game doesn't have the hook it needs, other than it's a Game Freak game with a realistic art style. And I don't think that's a hook that's going to sell. I think the game itself has to actually be good. And I got a feeling that if this game comes, that's not going to be a bad game. I don't think it's going to be bad. I don't think Xbox would put it in their showcase if they thought it was going to be bad. They obviously think it's going to be good. And if it's in the showcase, it's probably coming day one to Game Pass. So there'll be plenty of people playing it day one. But it's just, I could see this easily being a 75. I can also easily see this being a complete dud. Just because you're in an Xbox showcase doesn't mean you can't be duds. There's been plenty of Xbox games in those showcases that were duds. And this could end up being one of those. I think out of every game on the list, this was the only one I thought had any shot at possibly being under 70. And that's why I went with it. Because I'm like, you know what? 2 things it does. One, it is the least risky pick on the board, but it also locks it in where he can't drop it either. So let's say tomorrow the showcase happens and, oh man, the reception's pretty bad. He might feel like swapping it out. Can't swap it. You're stuck. Wanted to lock him into one that I don't think is going to score very high.
I figured that is exactly what your strategy was.
Yeah.
Of all the games that are on my list, you think this is going to be the worst one?
Yeah.
Listen, I think the fact of the matter is, this. I think the likelihood of us drafting a game that's going to be under 70 points is pretty low, to be honest with you.
That's why it wasn't my only factor in the decision.
Yeah. So the best in my opinion, the best picks for a counter pick is either the lowest possible 70s that you believe it's going to land in the lowest possible 70s, or if you think it's not coming out this year.
Yep. I also don't think it is, but even if it does, I'm cool.
Why would they show it at the Xbox Direct in January 2026? They're not going to release it this year.
Well, I agree with that because that was my thought process on I better scoop up Fable, because
why would they show
that's the
I
headliner.
agree.
Silk Song and say all the games here are coming out in the next 12 months, and then it didn't.
Yeah, that is a one-off scenario.
Well, I mean, if you go back and look at Xbox Directs, they've shown plenty of games that were coming
But
out.
I also didn't think it was coming out then either.
Well,
Listen,
it's fair.
as former fantasy critic champion,
Not of this.
I just want to say, the game's just getting started, my friends. It's getting interesting. It's going to heat up.
Yeah.
You're going to see listen, and I've seen scenarios because I've been playing for so many years, both just me and Colin, but also with other groups of people. Sometimes you see someone come out the gate swinging. I've seen people start with 290 plus and then get decimated, landing with the stinker, getting stuck with games that aren't coming out this year. We are so early. Anything is possible. Anything could happen. This is going to be an exciting year. And I love that we're all feeling competitive with this. Even Eric, I see Eric, having some interesting and unique picks. I think that's competitive. I think this is good. I think there's going to be some trash.
Gamer's just saying he's having a good time, guys.
I am.
He's liking how year one's going. Outside of the fact that we had to open the topic by bitching about a rule in year one.
Listen, it's not me complaining about the rule this year. It was me offering a suggestion for next year to have a more balanced game. And if you guys all disagree, then that's fine. It was just a suggestion.
Yeah, as I said, we'll revisit at the end of the year. I'm like, when you brought it up, I was like, neat suggestion. This is our first time revisiting the league since we drafted.
Fair.
Can we talk about what's going on in the league? That's why I was like, I feel like this conversation is happening 11 months too soon.
For sure.
That being said, yeah, so that was kind of my strategy behind trying to lock that in. Now, I had thought, obviously, I knew blowing it because they only get one. Blowing it early, I think could be a mistake for me long haul, because as it plays out, maybe Stash isn't the person I should be targeting. I should be going after the guy running the league, or maybe Eric. These random picks he has that feel random to me. Turns out he just knows what the fuck he's talking about. And I gotta be honest, usually when Eric sees a game and thinks it's good, it does review well every single time. So maybe it's him I should have been worried about. I don't know. But this is me just trying to make sure, hey, if I don't win, sure as fuck Thunderstash ain't winning. That was my thought. That was my whole thought process. I already saw him win one title last year. We don't need to have another one this year for something else that I can have a say in. Because no, I'm not good enough at NBA Jam to beat Thunderstash.
Still gotta post that video. I still have to edit that.
He bled for that title. I'm just saying, I ain't got those kind of skills. As soon as my finger popped, I would have been like, yeah, I'm good.
I had someone ask me if the reason I didn't post it because I lost. They're like, you lost, right? Like, no. They're like, why did you post it?
I don't even know what
I'm busy. Like. You want to edit this for me?
Right.
I got games I got to review.
Then last we got my list. I'll make this a bit quick. Look, Dustbloods. I think it's Miyazaki. He's never made a bad game. You look at the history of his games and the review scores; they're always very, very high. So, yeah, I think despite what the fan battle, PvE or whatever, who cares? It's a Miyazaki game. It's a Miyazaki game. He's literally never made a bad game. I don't think he knows how to. So, yeah, I have no problem with that being a topic for me. To the Hollower, obviously, was supposed to come out last year, got delayed. I don't believe this is a year plus delay.
How are you drafting a 2030 game? I mean, go look at the eShop, man.
I know. Don't say that on the eShop. It's hilarious. Anyway, yeah. I do think Mina Hollow is actually going to come out this year. Know some stuff behind the scenes about it that I can't say. sort of stash. And I think actually everyone does because we shared a little bit with the rest of the crew, but we can't really talk about it. But look, this is the Shovel Knight people. These are the people that just know how to make excellent games. And from what you guys have been able to play in the public demo and what we saw behind the scenes, very, very obvious. This is another one of those excellent games. I wouldn't be surprised if this is up for Indie Game of the Year. That's how much I believe in what this game is doing. So, of course, had to make it a high pick. I had to take Rebirth, which thank you, Nate the Hate, today, saying that Rebirth is coming to Xbox and Switch 2 this year.
Saw that. Really happy to see that.
Actually, and I think it has to because I think the third one's going to come out next year, so they have to get it out.
I do too. 2027. Final Fantasy 7, 2027.
Yeah.
7/7/2027.
It's interesting.
Yep. So I'm like, so I was already, that was before Nate the Hate said anything. I'm like, oh, it's got to come out. We already know, just like you took Integrate, we already know how well it reviewed. So yeah, got to get that on the list. Tomb Raider Legacy of Atlantis. Tomb Raider games have typically done pretty good. And this is just me looking at it and going, this one also looks in line with the recent ones that have also done pretty good in the reviews. So just kind of thinking that might continue. Could be way off on this. Yakuza Kiwami 3 and The Dark Ties. I don't think there's any qualms about that. It's very obvious. It's probably in the 80s somewhere with the review. The Blood of the Dawnwalker. Again, just one I've seen a few times. Looks really good. I think has a chance to maybe one of my lower games, maybe like an 81, 82. I think it's got a shot there.
I think it looks great, dude.
Yeah, I think it looks
Can't wait
better.
to play it.
But yeah, I'm just saying, I don't know. I haven't played it. I just feel like there's going to be like one thing that reviewers aren't going to like about it. That might bring it down because reviewers are sometimes overly harsh over like one minute thing that most gamers aren't even going to notice.
Yeah.
It just happens. By the way, they can be. By the way, it's their opinion, and if that little thing affects them that much, okay, cool. World of Warcraft Midnight. Look, it is part of an ongoing expansion pack series right now. The first one came out and was a mid 80s. Then I looked at some other X packs, and they seem to always be, low to mid 80s. So I felt like kind of a safe pick, like a known quantity that's just consistently does well in the reviews. Because also it's really, really hard. Like what's funny about reviewing like the World of Warcraft expansion packs, like they review it, but the expansion pack's not complete because it's an MMO. So the content for it comes out over a couple of year periods. So it's really funny that they had to review it without having all the content. So this is one I added. And I believe the first week that we had the league going was Half-Life. Now, I don't know if Half-Life 3 exists. I don't know if it's coming out. I don't have any information, don't know shit. I know about the rumors, but rumors are rumors. This thing's been rumored since I was was I middle school? It was a long time ago they were rumoring Half-Life 3. So this is just me going, look, if Greg Miller had the balls to put it in his team, I'm going to trust in the Miller and put it on mine. Because if it comes out, oh my God, that is such a massive W. Not just for it existing, but like it's going to review probably very high based on the pedigree of the series and the pedigree of Valve. Sure. But is it actually going to come out? I don't know. We'll see. Mm-hmm. Persona 4 Revival, I think just a super easy 80s dub. I mean, even the predicting points here is saying the same thing, low 80s there. It just felt like a very obvious, hey, I can't always look to try to get all the 90s. That's not how you're going to win this league. If you're just playing to get 90s, because that's a high risk, high reward, you could be like, oh, this is for sure going to be a 90, and then all of a sudden the reviews come out and it's like a 75. You're like, what the fuck? You can disagree with the reviews. I gotta play the reviews. So I did a lot of research on OpenCritic, going through and try to figure out what tends to do well with the critics. Because I honestly don't pay that much attention, but for a league like this, paying attention to that stuff matters.
I don't either.
How do games tend to review? So Persona 4 just felt like an obvious, easy, free. It's going to be in the 80s kind of game. Like,
it's my favorite Persona.
Like it's going to do great. Professor Layton and the New World of Steam. this is kind of a risky one because not all Professor Layton games review well, but they've been letting this one cook, and they definitely have not been trying to rush it out the door.
Yeah, you can see the steam rising.
Yeah. So, and what they have shown of it has looked really good. I think this is going to be potentially the best entry in the series. That's what I'm hoping for. I'm not going to get negative points on it, but I think it's got a shot at the 80s. We'll see. Assassin's Creed Black Flag Remake got a little scared because it's been delayed. But it's not technically delayed out of this year. It's delayed out of this fiscal year. But it could still be in the next one, and this fiscal year ends in March for them. So it's still, there's like 9 other months that it could come out this year. So it could just be pushed back to later this year in the summer sometime. And again, I know we don't technically know that because it's not technically announced, although it's been leaked. And then there's also been there's been a bunch of, the game exists. But yeah, if it comes out, look, it's one of the highest rated Assassin's Creed games. And I don't see a world where they really screwed that up because they don't have to do a whole lot. You keep the core game the way it is and upgrade the visuals. And it's gonna review well. So I don't see anywhere where this doesn't. So as long as it comes out this year, now I'm a little nervous it might not, but as long as it comes out this year, very confident in that one being in the mid 80s and doing very well.
What if they remake it as a games of service?
Well, then I'm fucked. Let's just be honest. That's gonna be a nice black hole for me over there. That might go negative. That might be in the 60s.
They wanted to take another stab at a quadruple A pirate game.
And right now, the game I'm nervous about the most is Expedition 33. Now, if it comes out, it's a brilliant pick because, again, it's going to be in the 90s. But at worst, high 80s if there's some hiccups on Switch 2. But I have no idea if they're actually making a Switch 2 version of the game, and let alone having it come out this year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
They mentioned last year it's like one of many things they're considering, which means there was no commitment at that time. So while I do think it comes to Switch 2 someday, I don't know what that day is this year. And I took kind of a leap of faith here. I kind of figured, look, when I look at our boards, the worst thing that I think I want is a game that gets me negative points, right? I don't want any negative points. I'm okay with a couple zeros. I got 25. I think I can afford 3 or 4 zeros and still pull out a dub. Well, if that's the case, then why not have one of those zeros potentially have the high ceiling of being in the 90s if it actually comes out this year? So that's why I'm like, you know what? I'm going to throw it on there before it's announced, and then we all have to bid like crazy to get it.
Mm-hmm.
Because everyone's going to bid like crazy because it's an easy 90+ game. Like, it's going to be highly bidded on. Now, I'm going to nab it now. Get it cheap. And so that's I got a few more that I'm adding for this week, but I'm also not going to reveal what those are right now because bids are still ongoing. But yeah, I kind of just have this overall strategy of paying a lot of attention to what's going on and what's coming up, and watching these, like, dude, this Xbox event tomorrow. Guys, I plan to live stream it. We'll see if that happens. But even if I don't, I'm going to be watching it differently. I'm actually more excited for the events this year. All the summer showcases, everything. Because now I'm not just watching to see what I'm interested in playing. I'm watching to see what's going to review well, which makes me look at this a little different.
Fantasy Critic does that to you. Yeah.
So, like,
even
like
genres
fantasy
you don't
football.
care about.
great trailer, but that game still won't review well. I can still think that. So
you'll find yourself rooting for genres that you don't even play or like don't even like. You know what I mean? So it's funny.
Yeah, so I'm cautiously optimistic about what I'm doing. Obviously, this is my first year doing it, but it's like anything. This is a competition. Dude, I'm all in. I'm head for, dude. I make time for this every week. Dude, I don't even make time for my fantasy basketball leagues right now every week. I make more time for this thing. I didn't even set my lineups today and screwed myself. I'm going to lose this week because of that. You know what? Who cares? Because this is the real prize. Those money basketball leagues I'm in, they can keep my money.
Nate, can we scroll up to Collins roster. I'm going to read off his games because, ladies and gentlemen, there's a third party. So we may all be competing against each other, but we also have a challenger who's approached, who's actually challenging each Nintenbyte co-host for the gold. He thinks he's got what it takes to take all of us down.
To
know
be fair,
how?
he's been kicking your ass for most
He
of.
kicked my ass for years. He did, but I freaking destroyed.
He kind of
him
figures,
last year.
these are your friends. Well, then.
I'm not playing 100% the way I have when I first played, where I was very like balls to the wall. I'm going crazy. We're getting a new Zelda this year. Boom. Because if we do, I don't want to lose it. Also, 3D Mario, baby.
Time remake to my list right now.
See,
I saw it
2 years ago,
Nope.
if I had the mindset of 2 years ago, that would have been in my draft. I've been like, well, if it does happen, I'm not missing out on it. Highest reviewed game of all time. But anyways, Colin, I think Colin has a pick on here that I think is actually one of the best picks all around. Fire Emblem Fortune's Weave. I think this game looks amazing. Three Houses was excellent. Didn't quite crack the 90s on open. Excuse me, but I think this could be the game that can. Forza Horizon 6. These games crush every single time. They're literally probably the best reviewed games that come out of Xbox. I'm fully expecting this one's, I believe is in Tokyo or Japan this time around. This one's probably going to be an easy 90 for Colin. Trails in the Sky, second chapter. This could be an easy 92 because the first one landed a 90 on OpenCritic, and anyone familiar with the series will know that the second game blows the first game out of the water. Sorrows. This is another success. Would it be a successor? Would you get, or would this
spiritual successor?
Yeah, I'd say it's a spiritual successor. This is one to keep an eye out. It's weird. I'm in a weird position where it's like I never want games to review poorly. You know what I mean? Like, I don't want this game to be worse than its predecessor, but I'm like, don't be in the 90s because Fantasy Critic. Screw the developers. Fantasy Critic. Witchbrook, cute, cozy game. I'm sure that one will do well. I forget who's making that. Chucklefish. Yep. Phantom Blade Zero. This is, I feel like, is Colin's wild card. I think the game looks amazing, but it's also from an unknown Chinese developer. And I feel like this could be like, I'm worried if it's an example of a game that looks too good to be true, but we'll have to wait and see. It looks fantastic.
Cheers, Blacksmith Wukong.
Right. Which that one did really well, but we'll have to wait.
It's one of the few games that's actually dated too.
Yep. It's dated.
Which there's like nothing dated. It's Phantom Blade Zero and GTA for the second half of the year right now. So I feel like they're pretty confident in this game. Yeah.
No, I think so too. Reanimal. This is another interesting one because I think the game looks incredible. I think everyone thinks that. The thing that's always interesting to me is that this is a scenario of it's the creators of Little Nightmares leaving and doing their own game. And my only caveat with this one is I feel like a lot of times when we see creators of a popular series go off and do their own thing, for whatever reason, it doesn't turn out the way a lot of people are hoping. Think the Dead Space team went off and did Callisto Protocol, didn't review very well. There's another example. Keiji Inafune, Mega Man, he did Mighty Number 9, didn't do well. There's a lot of examples. It's like a weird trend. So this one, just based on that, I don't know if what would you call that? Like, I don't want to jinx it for him, but I don't know. There's a weird history with that. Sacrifier. I don't remember what game this
dude
is.
Okay, I'll tell you about it. Sacrifier is the game that I DM'd you like a week ago.
That's right. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah.
Looks amazing.
Thank you. Looks so good. I reached out to him. I haven't heard back, but
yes.
This game looks so good. Yeah.
Yep. Super Meat Boy 3D. This was one that I was thinking about picking. I've heard nothing but amazing things about people who've gone hands-on with this. It looks like they took Meat Boy to the next level as a 3D platformer here. I think this was a solid pick. Diablo 4, Lord of Hatred. Diablo, it's a solid series. I'm sure this one will land in the 80s. I'm not sure where. And obviously, guys, I can't give Colin's thoughts behind these. I'm just trying to add a little context. Escape from Ever After. This is the Paper Mario like. This game looks amazing. So I've only played one other Paper Mario like, and I absolutely adored it. I actually liked it more than the Origami. Oh, nice. He's got it there. I actually liked it more than the Origami King, and that was Bug Fables. If you guys have you played this, Stash?
Escape from Ever After?
No, Bug Fables.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Amazing.
Yeah.
What a game. But yeah, Escape from Ever After, I think that's a banger right there. And then I forget again, I should know this one. Order of the Sinking. There's just so many indies.
So I just watched the trailer because that was the only game on this list that didn't ring a bell. Even after watching the trailer, it does, and it's from the director of Braid.
Okay.
Which I think that from the creator of Braid.
Yeah.
I think the creator annoyed groups of people. I don't know what it was about, but whenever that game gets brought up, and again, I have no idea what this is about, but I see people in comments wishing ill things to this person, and I'm like, now I wonder how it's going to review.
Interesting. Because I'm curious. I haven't heard anything about the creator of Braid. I'm wondering if it's because I think of the creator of Fez, who gets a lot of hate because of really unnecessary comments. Do you guys know what I'm talking about with the creator of Fez?
Yes.
With the Japanese game studios when he was super disrespectful?
Yep.
Oh, dude, that was what kind of
wild. It was wild.
What kind of move is that? I was like, what? That's one way to end your career.
Yeah, it was pretty wild. All right, are we good?
We're good.
All right, well, that's the update on Fantasy Critic. Let's get to the questions and stuff from the super chats and all that.
I gotta share something.
Yo, what do you gotta share?
15 minutes ago, Universal Studios Japan announced Pokemon.
Yeah,
is coming.
Hell yeah!
And and they said it's coming everywhere.
Dude,
Currently preparing for its world premiere at Universal Studios Japan, but the goal is to bring it global deployment. So
was it part of Super Nintendo World or is it something else?
They don't say Super Nintendo World, and I was looking for that verbiage, so I'm thinking it's its own expansion.
Which would be really crazy.
That'd be cool.
That's gonna print so much money,
dude. Harry Potter, Mario, Zelda, Donkey Kong, Pokemon. What else they got there? What, dude? But Waterworld?
Yeah, Waterworld. Yeah,
Waterworld still hits.
Dude, that show's so good. It's actually so good.
It is actually really good. That was the highlight of my last trip there, just 10 years ago.
Yeah. It's not part of the Nintendo area.
Good.
It's replacing the Spider-Man ride, so it's just one ride.
Good.
It's Florida.
It's replacing Spider-Man. Yeah,
that's Florida. Yeah, because we don't have that.
It's Universal Studios Japan, actually,
or Japan. Okay.
Yeah, so it's not, and that's not located in the Nintendo section, but it's not a surprise Pokemon's working with them since Nintendo already does.
Dude, all they have to do is sell premium Pokeballs like they do the Harry Potter ones and the Mario bracelet. And have Pokemon catching opportunities around the park, and they're gonna make gangbusters. And you could do maybe a custom ball like you build the lightsaber,
Or what if you can get rare Pokemon in the Pokemon Go app that you can only find at the park? Oh my god!
But you could only catch legendaries if you have a Master Ball, and the Master Ball is the really expensive one.
Yes.
Wow.
Oh yeah, dude. It's gonna get super predatory.
You charge by ball type. Basic Pokeball is $50. Great Ball $70.
Oh my god.
Hey, you
Oh,
want that Mewtwo? You better get the Master Ball.
stop
It's
putting
$300.
ideas in their head.
This thing was pretty expensive.
Yeah.
How much?
I
Dude, that's-
think it was at least $50.
Okay.
Jesus.
At least.
Now imagine a Pokeball, like a
I
premium.
mean, I know you get to
Pokeball.
keep it after, but Jesus. that's a
Yeah,
lot.
I mean, I like playing with it, but it has zero purpose unless I'm at the park.
Yeah.
You know,
I think
should have-
it technically is amiibo, actually.
I was gonna
Technically.
say, can you scan it on your Switch?
I haven't done it, but I could.
Yeah, I'd be interested. That would be cool if it did
Yeah.
something, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do like playing with it, but
Yeah,
you know,
it is cool.
Yeah. It's a $50 background item,
yeah.
basically. I mean, it's cool while you're there, I suppose. I mean, that's what you're paying for.
Oh yeah, I really enjoyed having it while I was there. Yeah,
Yeah.
It might have been more expensive, $50. I don't remember, but it was something.
It
like
was
that.
a little uncomfortable. It's like, really?
I mean, it was like I'm here to splurge.
I'll
but-
do it. All right, I'll do
Yeah.
it this one time.
Yeah,
you
but
know,
it was
whatever.
definitely like something that like other people in my friend group did not feel comfortable with.
Yeah, so it had to be pretty pricey.
Unless the friends that are like more into the Nintendo stuff are like, all right, yeah. But if you were like not into like really into Nintendo stuff, you're like, well, yeah.